What am I forgetting to do? I need to do something. Firebot. Firebot is what I'm forgetting to do. You loading there, Mr. Firebot? Maybe, maybe not. Debatable. Well, hello everyone. Edge should be done. Done. Apparently, Firebot does not want to play today. Hello, Ellie. You normally aren't right here at the start of my stream. What am I doing? Green, one, skip one, work. I am forgetting that I'm supposed to be putting a loaf of bread in the oven. You're back. ADHD is a powerful drug. I looked up and could see it, my loaf rising and like starting to spill out of the pan because I turned the oven on to preheat a while ago. It probably beeped that it was done preheating while I was outside closing up the greenhouse. And so I didn't hear the beep, so I forgot about it until I looked up and saw the loaf almost exploding. Whoops. Alright. I do it so often that it's disconcerting. Like, I legitimately accidentally baked a loaf of bread for like half an hour longer than I was supposed to because the husband and I decided to have a campfire outside. So we were sitting out by the fire when he asked me, he's like, "Weren't you baking a loaf of bread?" That one was a bit of an extra crispy. I haven't figured out how much more of this shawl I want to do. Like, I want to get rid of this entire ball of yarn. And it's going quick, but it's pretty dense. Like, the pattern technically only calls for 2 more rows. But I can it's repetitive enough that I can just add more rows. I'd like to be able to just get rid of this yarn. We're on the rows that are at least a little more interesting. On Monday, I was working on the shawl too, but the last two rows that I just finished right here uh, were just solid, the same stitch the whole way across. Just boring. So it just felt like it was going for forever. At least these next two rows have big holes in them. You can see they go a lot quicker. So what I'm probably still gonna do is half a row of this shawl, then a probably two rows of my little sweater I'm working on for the little man. Yeah, I can't hear it. Better? Alright, it's not too loud though, is it? Okay. I probably just had the volume too low. Okay. That was a challenge to get the volume balancing right. Because like I hear it on a different volume than what is on the stream. So the only way I can actually hear it is if I go and like open up the stream on something else, and that's just a pain in the butt. Sometimes it seems like it's either louder or quieter depending on the day sometimes. Seems like I can't just always keep it on the same setting. Doing here, skip. I probably shouldn't let you look at any of my streaming setup stuff because like I'm sure I've got it set up all backwards and wonky and weird. And you being a tech knowledgeable person are probably going to be very confused. I mean, it sometimes works. Like, the thing I can't figure out right now is why this camera here sometimes just drops out. Some days it's fine, some days it just decides it doesn't want to play anymore. Like, I think on Monday it dropped like every 20 minutes. Yeah, I know, it could be 5 million things. Well, especially because it's my phone. I'm using Droid Cam to connect things that I don't understand. To connect through my router and my IP address to the laptop something something. Tech genius right here. Hey! Hello, hello, Kippy. How are you? I have been loving those dolls you've been making. They are so cute. Oh, cute. Awesome. I mean, well, that's part of crafting, is finding something that makes you happy. Like, that's why I focus a lot more on the kid stuff, is because the joy of that is just so much more fun to me. Although that's not what this is right now. This is a adult-sized shawl. But it needs to get done because I owe it to a certain friend who is coming down. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, I owe this shawl to a friend who's coming to visit very shortly as part of an art exchange. So I need to get it done. But I big projects like this, I get so annoyed working on them towards the end. Okay. Uh cool. So also Canadian, so that works. Easy peasy. Well, that's what I'm assuming is network because, yeah, I didn't do anything; it just figured it out on its own. So you're thinking the dolls, pricing on the dolls. So approximately how much does it cost in fabric is the first thing you need to figure out, is what your actual material costs are going to be. Look, I have an accounting background, so this could get insane. So first step is how much material does it cost? Yeah, yeah. And my recommendation when you're calculating, what I always do for pricing stuff is I calculate things at like the typical full retail price of the fabric or whatever. I rarely buy fabric or yarn or anything like that at full price, but when I'm calculating the cost that something takes, I calculate it at the full price. And so any bonus I get from getting a discount on a sale or something like that is just adding more profit in and of itself. But that way, if, for example, someone commissions something or wants something where I end up needing to pay full price, that's also built into my math. So I'm not taking a hit on that either. Okay, so base doll. Uh, okay, so that's just your fabric though. So the your third of a meter price of your fabric. I has a calculator, please. So if we say the $19 a meter times 0.3, so that's $570 in and of itself if we say the $19 a meter. But then for the base doll itself, stuffing, bread. You can even get into like needle use, that kind of thing. Like it depends how crazy in the minutia you want to get. Things like needle use and stuff like that. Like I would say, whoa, sorry, I forgot that I had someone else's stream on in the background. Bad things happened. um, yeah, so doll itself, you're looking at 570 plus you've got to add your thread, which a normal like small spool of Guterman's thread is like $2. So count like on the doll itself, like you should almost piece it out a little bit. So the doll itself, you're looking at $6 for your fabric, another dollar for thread, say another dollar or two of other bits. Not sure what other things, and then how much stuffing, because stuffing is crazy expensive sometimes. So calculating how much of your stuffing you're using. So you need to break down all of those. So realistically, my guess is that your cost for the doll, all said and done between all the bits. Yeah. And how much stuffing does the doll use? Like, how many dolls can you get out of one bag of stuffing? Or 1 pound of stuffing? Yeah, you're thinking probably a bigger spool. In my head, I was saying $2 because I'm thinking like these little tiny Gutermann spools. Okay, so three dolls. We'll say three just for easy math. So that's 50. So just in fabric. Hey GM, how are you? I mean, Gutermann is pretty much the go-to. So just in fabric and stuffing, you're already looking at $10, $11. Plus, if you add the amount of thread you're going to use and everything else. So you're up to probably in cost of the doll without adding clothes, $15 to $20 in just cost. So, like, $60 for a naked doll sounds right. Like, that doesn't sound unreasonable unless it takes you a really, really long time to make. But yeah, so bare naked doll, $60. So what you could do is sell the dolls naked, almost like think Build-A-Bear. Sell the dolls naked, and then sell the outfits to go with the dolls. Because then, this is how I'm thinking of doing it. I would do it. Is sell the dolls naked, and then have like bins of clothing that are different prices. So then you could have like a basket that is whatever basic, simple, like straight shirts or pants that are nothing fun, just straight one fabric, easy peasy, that you can do for like $10 a piece, whatever. And if you wanted to add things like the wedding dress and stuff like that, you can have like a special section that is really over the top outfits that you can charge way more for. Yeah, you could do that too. Like that's a nice way to allow your customers to mix and match and customize. So that way people aren't locked in. So if you do dolls that are, different skin tones, different hairs, different whatever, they can pick which doll they like best with which outfit they like best. Yeah, bulk making things also speeds it up quite a bit. So like to make a whole batch of the dolls kind of thing, once you get everything cut out, it's kind of assembly line making. Oh yeah, so animals. Either I mean, if they're all the same, the big question would be is are most of those dolls they're all the same body shape, right? So I wouldn't do personally. Yeah, I wouldn't personally do the different sizes until you've built up a base of the one size. Like I would do an inventory of the one size with matching all the accessories. And then you could do after that a smaller run of the minis and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sure it's cute. I have too many things I'm trying to make, which is my problem. Like I just started making a little sweater for my little man, and now I just want to make like 15 of these little sweaters to try and sell. a little like poncho sweater, and it's knitting up so quickly. Like I'm also working on some slippers and then all my little cross stitch dolls, like an insane amount of things. But yeah, so I'd say you're not far off on $60 for the base doll, plus more based on the clothing. And I would price out the clothing based on how much work each piece of clothing is going to take you. So, like a basic pair of pants that's just like, leg, hems, doesn't have to be much. But if you're going to start adding accents and decorations and stuff where it takes more time, what is going on here? That's messy. I'm really good at talking business better than I am doing my own business because ADHD is a powerful drug when you top on top of a very hyperactive child. So I can talk it out a lot more than I can actually get my own stuff done. No problem. I am glad to help and bounce ideas off of. So another thing to keep in track of, because my brain does this. Yeah, executive dysfunction is real fun. It's one of those things that I took for granted for a long time until half of my time disappeared. Because you would think that not working and being home, I would have more time. But I don't. And even when I do, I don't because my brain can't use all of that, any of the downtime I have productively. Yeah. Well, that's it. Like, I mean, for example, today it was beautiful and sunny out. So we went, like, whatever, we had a slow start to the morning. And then we went outside at 10:30 to play. And until 4 o'clock, we'd only come inside for about an hour. And so we were only inside for about an hour to like cook lunch and make lunch. Other than that, I was outside. Now he was entertaining himself most of the time we were outside, so like I was sitting on a chair while he was bouncing around in the pool. So I was knitting on the chair, but I'm also paying attention and being very aware of what's going on. Especially lately after the big scare I had on Friday with the bear, my head's been on a bit of an extra swivel lately. And like even now, because my husband's out late tonight, like little guy's in bed, but I have an ear open and I'm listening in case he randomly decides to walk out of bed. Yes, so Bear. I didn't share the story in Discord. We were in the backyard. We got this like little kind of semi-inflatable pool thing that we were filling up. And then because we're filling it up with our well, a hose from our well, I'm only running it for like half an hour time, then I'm turning off the water so that I don't burn out my well pump. And so, whatever, we were playing in it, and I decided it was time to go turn off the hose. And the hose adapter's on the other side of the house. So we had to walk all the way around the house to go turn it off. And then we were coming back around the house again to go back to the backyard where the pool is and whatever. And as I'm rounding the front of the house, this big black bear comes across my neighbor's driveway in their backyard and right through our backyard. And thankfully, the little man was following me rather than usually running ahead of me the way he normally does. So the bear saw me and then just took off for the forest. But I'm just like, excuse me, it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and this bear is just walking through our backyard. So, yeah, my head's been on a bit of an extra swivel lately. Like, I know the bear's around all the time. I know that. We have plenty of evidence of him being around. I live in a rural area. And, like, black bears are big wimps. Wants nothing to do with us. He's got no interest. But it's still not something I expected when, like, literally 2 minutes ago I was in the backyard. And now suddenly he's there. Oh no! Have fun at your class. Good luck. Enjoy. I will see you later. My next stream should be Sunday night. I do Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays. If you can't make it, I'm always on Discord, and I try to remember to post all of my VODs. I'm around. Thank you. I appreciate the lurk. Right. I did say I was only going to do half a row of this and then switch to the sweater. But we got talking and whatever, so I kept going. So now we're going to finish this row, and then maybe I'm going to work on the sweater. Yeah, hopefully, Ellie, when you guys come to visit, we won't have a bear encounter. Oh dear. But honestly, the bear is actually probably the least of your worries. As long as we're noisy, the bear won't come around. Things that are more worrying are things like Bobcat. The Bobcat wants to come say hi. The Bobcat's gonna come say hi. Not much you can do about that one. I haven't heard the timer go off on my bread yet. Gotta be almost done. Oh, let me check. Let me check. Alright. Red success. My internal clock was pretty spot on. The timer had 30 seconds left. Every once in a while I get those things right. Or I forget it for an extra half an hour. Yeah. What is going on with my shirt that is bugging me? The collar's flipped up weird. Hair has a mind of its own today. Wants to be all dangling in my face. That split too much. Splitty splitty yarn. Okay, we're getting there. We're like halfway through this side. What was that noise? Mhm. It does feel good. Mhm. Do, 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 do. Alright, we're almost at the end of the row. The row only took, about an hour with chatting breaks. Um, the other day, I just got my first fourth wall payout, and I decided I was going to reward myself with maybe getting like a bottle of wine or something like that. I thought that'd be nice. But just this last weekend, a little cafe laundromat near me caught fire, and it's in a strip mall connected to the liquor store and the hardware store. So now the liquor store is closed as they do renovations from smoke damage. Of course. The rare time that I thought that getting some liquor would be fun, but no. Now I have to drive, half an hour, 45 minutes all the way into town. But that's not even true. I could go like 20 minutes up to the kind of bigger, small area, but still. I have a liquor store like a 10-minute walk from my door, but it's closed. Oh well. Um, Alright, so that is the row done. Let me get my stitch marker into that stitch so that I don't lose it. The slippery yarn that is a potential. That row is done of my big giant heavy shawl. It's turning out lovely though. It's gonna look like more finally blocks out. Getting there. It's not huge. Like it's a kind of more of a neckerchief type one. Alright, let's take a small pause from that one and pull out the sweater for the little man. Which is coming out nicely. I just started the second ball of thread, or yarn, not thread. I wanted to measure. So we are at just shy of 15 inches. We need to get to 60. I had figured it would be one more color repeat. So when we finish, we're just starting this darker color. So when we finish this lighter color, it should be long enough to do the neckline. We're gonna just quickly knit 2, maybe 4 rows. We'll see. Okay, we're at 55 minutes in now. Rather than time, why don't we go until we finish the dark blue? And then we'll do the next row of the shawl. Or at least a half row anyway. Because the next one I believe is all double crochets. Double crochet in next DC and DC in chain space. Yeah, so it's just a full solid row of double crochets. I was a little annoyed in that starting the second ball to get to the same spot that this other ball was ending, I had to pull out all of this yarn. Like, I think it's probably like, I don't know, a fifth of the ball or so that I had to pull out to get to the right spot in the color rotation. It was basically, I think, like 3 stripes. It was slightly annoying. Hopefully, though, I'll be able to use that amount that I pulled out either towards the end of this ball or when I do the, well, like I pick up stitches for the neckline. Where's my phone? Okay, just my husband telling me he is on his way home. So I know he's alive. Pause a second. What was I? There was a thing I was going to look for. I forget what it was. That's what I was checking. But today. Alright, anyway, back to going. We have ads starting in about 3 minutes. Do instant. Do that. Let's see here. Don't forget where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing good. Welcome back from from the ad break. Welcome back from the ad break. I can talk. I was grooving out to the music a little too much. Ba-ba. Whee. Oh, we are changing color. The dark is ending and we're switching to light. So since we already started this row, I'm going to finish this row. Is that more procrastinating? No, not at all. We are not procrastinating working on the other project at all. All right, all right. We definitely are in the lighter color. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, back to the shawl. Okay, so now we flip it and reverse it. Oh, I make myself laugh. 'Cause I don't make anybody else laugh. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Uh, we are going to do this one way or another. I need to stop getting distracted by things on my screen. Just going to enjoy the music. Do the crochet thing. Do, do. Want to be working on this right now. Go where I'm telling you to go. Thank you. Mm-mm. Do, 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 do. Um, I wanted to check something else. I keep getting distracted because I don't want to be working on this. Mm-mm. What? Why? What was that? Open this up. Oh, right. I'm going to get this done. My brain gets so overpoweredly distracted when I don't want to do something. I just like it's a really pretty shawl and it's coming out gorgeous, and I'm excited to give it to the recipient. However, it is at the point where every row is huge, and so I am getting bored. But I get whiny and impatient at the end of any large project. I just want it to be done. Which is hilarious for someone who really enjoys working in like fingering weight and like sock weight yarns. Because this happens all the time. That must be why I'm having so much fun with that sweater. It's just the novelty of using the super bulky and it just going so quick is great. Trying really hard to stay focused, which means I am not paying attention to the stream at all. Almost to the midpoint. Almost. Almost there. Almost. Almost. Okay. Do the middle bit. Just to get that out of the way. All right. Think rather than switch projects, we are probably just going to be ending our stream here. Because I'm feeling a little extra tired today. I spent so much time in the sun. So let me see who is around that we can raid into. How are, are we feeling chaos? Let me just make sure. All right, let's go have an explosion over here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Maybe. There we go.